Good evening. It's 7 o'clock on a Monday night, and I'm Norma Cowie with Mental Mind Treatments and Psychic Impressions. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Marion is already booked in by saying good evening and blessings to all, and she plays a Tibetan bowl with a bowl, not a bolt, a bowl. Sorry, I'm a little tired today, and which helps me a lot actually when we have one of those long nights. So this is for the mental mind treatments, which is the alternative prayer I use. And also we use some psychic impressions by giving me three numbers about whatever it is. It's off the top of your head, actually. But today, one of our very big regulars, big regulars, and she's on mostly Monday nights. And that's our friend Kayla. Kayla had her knee surgery today. I have not heard yet how all that went. I thought maybe her grandson might have phoned me. But anyway, she, by the just off topic, but one of our Canadians was playing tennis today against the number one player. And the first set was really, really close. And then he's been having a little bit of trouble with his knee. And so consequently, he ended up getting some sort of time down, and he didn't play the second set very well, which means, he lost the game. But he played very, very well. So that was exciting for one whole set. It was great. Absolutely beautiful. So thinking of Kayla today, I just want to say hi to Karen M because she's just come on. So we're just going to know. So what have I got written here? So let's join together, knowing her highest and best is all around her with a glowing, healing light. And then I wrote treat. Okay. I know there is one power and one essence, and I know as I speak my word for Kayla, she is very, very aware of this. And even though via the surgery on her right knee, I believe it was the right one, but anyway, her knee, and replacing it, it feels warm and sunshiny because of now being able to walk pain-free. On the knowingness that the beautiful light of being speeds up the healing that needs to be done within the knee and around the knee. And also for herself, there is a peaceful awareness of being held in the arms of love. And Kayla is a person that just loves the love. She always has number 3, which is the Empress, which is the lovingness. And so I give thanks in knowing that healing force will be with her for the next few days in particular, as it brings it all together and balances and takes pain away so that there's a relative pain-free ease through it all. I give thanks in the knowing of that. I give thanks in the knowing that this is a breakthrough for her. This is going to take care of so many levels of so much awareness and so much beingness. And for this knowingness, as I release this thought, I can only say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Amen. And so it is. Okay, we've got a couple of other people on, but I've already got some down here from before. Friend of mine, Julie, this is her 3rd week. So this would be, unless she gets hold of me again, this will be the ending of this. So I've got the topic of to enjoy what there is. And what I did was something different tonight. So I had my tarot deck beside me. So rather than just pick numbers out of my head, I picked up some tarot cards. So we've got the 22, the Fool, then the 6 of Swords, and the 10 of Wheel of Fortune, number 10. So actually, I really like this because it shows with the Fool having faith. And one of the little topics that the Fool has is to complete all motion with faith. And so with Julie to enjoy what's there, to not look for what isn't, or however, and just to be happy is the full, that's perfect. So just to be able to go and have faith and trust that everything is in its right place and leave behind, that's what Six of Swords, to leave behind. And it is a little journey. One doesn't just go to bed and wake up the next morning with everything okay, but you can wake up knowing it will become okay. And so there is that journey there. And then the Wheel of Fortune says, number 10, be like the hub of the wheel, and no matter what's going on around here, you stay stoked with, I think that's the word, solid in the direction that you are wanting to go to and what you're wanting to be. And for that knowing, as I know that, I release this knowing that it is done so that Julie can totally be in the present, enjoying what is there. Now, Karen B, let me know. I don't. Oh, she is here now. I'm going to go to her anyway. So she says, good evening, Norma. Blessings and love to everyone. Extra healing blessings to Kayla. Yeah, during her recovery from knee surgery. I believe, Karen B, you're having surgery on your eye tomorrow. And I hope I'm correct. You can put yes if I am, because I'm going to work on that. Because we're going to do all these 2 surgeries out of the way in our group. I know that when it comes to healing, the important thing is to get out of the way and allow the universal love force to come in and heal. And we know, if I think I remember, it was the right eye that you're having the thing removed. And it just feels to me is the excitement of being able to see in an effective way and having that seeingness be. So I'm going to treat for that. Okay. Yeah, for her first cataract surgery tomorrow. Right. When I'm the numbers, I think what we'll do is we'll just know that the inner peace for yourself, the inner knowing, the beingness, and allowing, just going into that place of knowing that everything is in its right place, that the universal support is there for you to work the hand of the doctor, to have the nurses be supportive, so that everything cues up or lines up, might be a better word, showing my partial English background, cueing, and having it know. It's like a knowingness of relaxing, so that you're relaxed and aware that everything is taken care of, that everything is in its right place. And any nerves, any worry, any concern, there's a little bucket over in the corner. It can all go in there. And so it can stew there because you're in the divine hands. And I want you to sense that divineness, so that the doctor doing the surgery is all part of this big, beautiful energy field. So I give thanks in knowing that Karen B just it's like flying. It's like a flying through and coming out the other end going, oh my goodness, look at that. Now I can just see and know so much more. And it'll just be peaceful and relaxing. And for that, I give thanks, I give thanks, I give thanks. And so it is. Okay. I love Mass 7. What does he say here? I stayed up sending love and healing to Caleb. Bless you. Your prayer for her was beautiful. Well, I appreciate that. Okay. I also took from what you said because I went and looked before I got on here. When I did my Sunday thought, it's on Sunday, Mass 07 sent me an email just saying that something had happened. And I went and looked at it today, And it did, got all weird. I don't know how to edit yet. I'll say yet because that's on the agenda, because that part needs to have come out. But anyway, it was a little bit weird. But I also know, and I just wanted to see here that Math 07 likes treatments for his eyes. So, and again, I did that fanciful thing where I just picked, also utilized the cards, and I had because I know he knows them, Knight of Wands, Page of Wands, and then number 22, the Fool. I just think this is and I've thought about this when it's about eyes and seeing, is about knowing the Knight of Wands moves ahead. And sometimes there could be here with the Knight of Wands, we wanted to look at that, maybe not the plus side of the Knight of Wands, is that because he's always a little bit of a hurry. So it's like maybe looking ahead, but not looking far enough ahead. That's my sense that are like there, because of the followed by the Page of Wands, which is very much caught up with what the idea is or the thought is. But the 22 of the Fool, it goes straight. It doesn't get caught up in the little bits and pieces. It doesn't worry about those. It just has that faith in knowing all is well and stepping out into life, we'll say. Stepping out into life with absolute confidence of knowing that everything is in its right place and its right knowingness. Now, I give thanks and knowing for our Math 07 that not only are the eyes improving, but it's like being able to perceive also in a different way. Very often we forget that when we have something working, someone's for the area, there's an anomaly detected. Okay, if anyone else sees that, let me know, because I'll go out and come back in again. Because there was one thing I didn't do before I started. I should have. So anyway, the element here is for you, the star 7, is to know that you can see a bigger picture as well and rest in that and feel good about that as well. So that really works super, super duper. So I give thanks in the knowingness that the light, the loving light is there, and that the vision is not only improving, but it has a different quality about it, being able to see things in a different way and all sorts of elements that happen. So I give thanks in knowing that. I truly, truly do. Just want to make sure. Okay. I'll go back up here. I jumped around a little bit. I don't usually do that, but it seems like an unusual day for me anyway. Okay, Karen M. What do we got here? Greetings, Norma. 17, 8, and 14. Many balance. First thing I'm aware about 17 and 14 deal with balance. And 8, balance from a different perspective because we're bringing strength down. So it's like about, I want to say, to recalibrate or to redetermine when it comes to your life what exactly you're doing, what exactly you are balancing, and what you're aware of. What are you wanting? What are you wanting to create? What do we have inside? What do we have outside? How does that flow? And that knowing that you have strength to be able to project that. We can have all these wonderful ideas of things, but we've also got to have practicality and how we implicate those. So implement. Sorry, I knew that was the incorrect word. Implement them. So in knowing that, as I move into treatment, it's like, I know there is one power and one essence, and I know that Karen M knows that. I also know that how we have perceptions of things, whether we're educated them as a child or we create them as an adult, that sometimes we've got to move beyond those perceptions, and we've got to open up to the splendor of the balance of life and the awareness of all that there is. I give thanks for knowing that Karen M is ready once more to make another breakthrough in the vibration of life and the ability and the awareness of all that she works for. I give thanks in that. And I release this knowing that there is love, light, and understanding in a different way that is pertinent and coming. And it'll just be there. It's almost smooth, very smooth. I like it. Very nice. And I release this by saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay, Leroy. I need the clarity, determination, and strength to make decisions and life choices. So we got 2, 4, and 6. Well, there you go with the 2 as the high priestess. So that is all about decisions. Like, what is it you really want? 4 is you're not sure. Like, what if I make the wrong decision? What if it didn't work before? What if I do that now and it doesn't work again? And 6 is where you get confused by everything. Okay. Where do I start? Decisions, probably. Sometimes we just have to accept that what we know or what we want is what we know and want. And to let go the periphery of everything that we've been taught or told is correct. Because that 4, it's like, that's the emperor. And it's very hard, the emperor. It sits there like, this is how it's supposed to be. And we call it experience. I called it experience because very often that's how we get from experience. Doesn't mean that's where we need to stay, because the next symbol, which is number 5, is the Hierophant, which says you need more knowledge. So, and then 6 is where we get all sorts of confusions going on. But yeah, that first 7 in the run of the tarot is really about finding your feet, as far as I'm concerned. But we look at the number 2. You have a choice. You can choose to be undecided or beat yourself up or not approve of yourself or whatever it is that you do. Or you can set your goals and make the choices around the goals and know that that's where you want to go and that's how you can be there. And in doing that, what brings forth is many, many, many things that you get knowledge and experience from, but it's lighter instead of confusing. So two words, one word we don't have here, but it comes in my mind, so I'm going to use it, is judgment. Whose judgments? Are they your judgments? Are they other people's judgments? Are the good books judgment? Who's judging? Key here is, I think, is when it comes to decisions of where you're wanting to go. I'm just going to read it. And strength to make decisions in life choices. Choose for you. Choose for you. One of the things I had to come to at one point was realize that one day I was going to die. No matter what, I was leaving this body. And I better know who I was, because I was going to have to answer for it. Not because did I do this or did I do that or whatever. I had to recognize that on the other side, often what we think is, oh, goody, look what we did, is not that important. How kind were we? Did we do things that brought us pleasure? Were we honorable? All those other things that most people don't talk about. So who are we serving? Who's in control? And one thing here is notice. Now, number 20, we have judgment. It has a different text to it, but it's like, watch the judgments that come in. Where did you learn them? Who taught you those? Do they really relate to you? Is that something that you really want? All those things you can ask yourself to find out. So in the treatment, as we go into treatment, I know there is one power, and I know that each one of us comes to the point of a decision to accept love, that we are loved, that the essence of being is to be our creative, as big a creative selves, happy selves as we can be, and therefore begin to make choices about that. And allowing life to come inside and it's like hold us. It holds us so that we know where we're going and what we're doing. I give thanks in knowing that Leroy is at that point to accept for him, to accept for what he wants to create and what he wants to do. It's funny. My phone just ding and I'm just putting it on silent. Leave the other voices out. We don't need to hear those. You know what you want. You know how it all works for you. Just be there. I give thanks in the knowing of this. I give thanks and all that is there by saying, and so it is. Amen. As I release this big breath out into the ethers. And there it goes. Okay, Karen Lee, let's see what we got here. Would love a treatment for fatigue and broken sleep. Sounds like an old pattern we've had, I think. Would love a restful sleep and be able to wake up refreshed. That's what you need, is refreshing. Sometimes when we sleep, we still are processing the day or week even or month even to the point where our brain doesn't go into the deep sleep. Okay, so what numbers did you give me? 2. Choice again, 17 and 3. Okay. Karen Lee, I'm sure you know all the things that one can do to help for restful sleep. Warm bath, nice drink, lots of sort of warm, because we're getting into cool, yucky weather. But it's like knowing, giving yourself comfort before you go to bed. The thing here is, this is all about your choice. Now, if you go to bed and start stewing and thinking about all the things that have happened, may happen, will happen, what to do and how to do it, if you do that, there's no restful sleep. So the first thing is learning how to turn the brain off so you're not trying to figure it all out when you go to bed. If you want to do that before you go to bed, then have a nice quiet drink, something that calms the nervous system down. There's lots of teas out there for that. Alcohol too, but I can't say that on here. And then go, because it's all about balancing yourself and loving yourself. It's like spend a moment or two instead of worrying about this, that, or the other, especially watch the maybes. I always find that when we get into maybes, maybe this one, maybe that, maybe the other, was almost frantic, actually. It says here with the number 3, is just love yourself. And I really think that's where it comes down to that number 2 in the beginning. Love yourself. What is it you need to relax your body? It feels very tight to me, like a. So what do you need to do? Nice baths. Sometimes certain scents make us relax. But the main thing I always think is to get this thing turned off. Journal sometimes helps, unless it wires you up more. The thing is to find what wires you and what doesn't. You know what I mean by wire? Like build you up and then you can't sleep because you're still trying to sort everything out, all of that. So what it becomes really important here, I think, is for you to recognize, really study, because I know you have cards, the Star and the Empress, number 3. Number 2 is in the beginning. It's your choice. This tells me it's your choice. You can choose to get all wired up and worry or think, or you learn how to quieten yourself down, balance yourself out, and love yourself. I had to do that with business and kids and everything, and relationship not necessarily working the way I wanted it to. I had to learn how to let go mentally at night and nurture me so I could endure and could deal with what I had to deal with. So let's do treatment on that. I know there is one power in one essence, and I know the love of this that works on earth in the universe here, that it can be brought inside to soothe, where you can have a place where all the things that bother you, you can give them up and let that divine essence take care of it. You can't figure everything out sometimes. We don't have all the information. We hand it over. We just hand it over and we relax and we allow our own healing to take place because we love ourselves. Paramount. Must love self. Must honor self. If we love and we honor the self, we will let it all go. We might pick it up the next morning when we get up, but we won't carry it when we go to bed. I give thanks in knowing that the love that is there around Karen Lee just has to be brought into the chest, into the stomach even, and let everything else let go. And then I think you'll find it'll be much easier, much delightful, and much beingness. I give thanks in the knowing of this by saying, and so it is. Amen. And I'll drink to that with my water. Okay. Again, I'm sure Kayla really appreciates what you gave her to 07. Karen B, we dealt with the cataract surgery. Marion says, look up on chat. You have mixed Karen Merkus and Noria. I don't think so. No, I didn't. Leroy has 2, 4, and 6. Oh, I still had. Oh, I see. They both had 2. Okay, Leroy, it still applies. Sometimes you just got to realize things come the way they come. Sometimes they're not accidents, by the way. Karen B. Yeah, you're good there. Karen, you're good. Marion, look up. Thank you very much. Oh, I wonder who you say that. Abya, Nathan, and whatever that one is, says here. In yesterday's name, let the spirit be upon those with the faith to accept it. Yes, and then it's Amnia bless. Yes, I agree. It's that, but that's the difficulty of humanity. To make that step over. Karen Leroy says, thank you, Norma. I received a double treatment. Karen Lee and sleep applies to me. And apparently Marion tells me I missed you up too. But somehow it fitted. And that's what it is. Many people come in on the same nights with almost the same issues sometimes. And sometimes it feels like you're saying the same thing over again with little different ways, because the symbology, even though it might be a number, or it all fits into the big pattern. So thanks for trusting me there. She said, I'm pulled up now. And at the end, I love myself. Okay, I have sent you an email before the show. I usually get them. I didn't get it. Treatments for psychic and astral ability. I didn't get it. Didn't come because I looked at them before. Oh, I know why. I looked at them early because I had some work I wanted to do on the site. I said, okay, hang on. What do we got here for psychic? And astral ability. Oh, got number 2 again. 2 is very popular tonight. 12 and 11. Just stop being lazy. That's your thinking. Lazy, you just got to do work on that. And that's 15, 16, and 8. Okay. Before I start this, is that on Saturday, I'm doing a past life regression. And I know 2 of you have signed up to come. I haven't got back to you yet, but I will the next day or so because I'm going to be ready. And if anyone else wants to join us, please do. It's really reasonable. So it's a good time to do it. Psychic. You've got 2, 12. What? You know what I get from this with your psychic ability first? 2, 12, and 11. You have to make the decision and accept what you're getting or got. Like, okay, when we're developing, it's like steps. It's like going up steps and then going up wider steps. But it's like new steps, new awarenesses. And that's what I see here. You might be stuck in it's supposed to be a certain way. And this is about you accepting and deciding. See, you've got 2 and then you've got 11, which is the higher value of the 2. These are your choices, kiddo, that you've just got to accept what's given to you. But are you asking effectively? Remember, you get what you ask for. That's what prayer is all about. That's what mental mind treatments are all about. Asking so that you can receive. And I just look at this, your psychic, because you've talked about this a few times, but this time I'm looking at it and I'm going, oh, you're not accepting what you are getting. You're looking for something else. So ask for something else. That's what I see there. Okay, then the lazy bit. 15, emotional. 16, everything doesn't seem to work. And 8, again, and the way I drew it shows there's an issue there. I want to know, what do you get out of being lazy? And what was the other word? There was another word. Being lazy and to becoming a workaholic, to stop being lazy. See, lazy and being a workaholic is 2 opposites. So in other words, when we're lazy, you turn into a workaholic because you're not even. It's not working. That's why you've got these crazy numbers like 15 and 16, and then 8, which is you're not bringing the energy in and effectively. How can let me just think this through for a moment. When you have an expectation, I think what happens, you expect it to be perfect. We know you've got a critical mind. So I think in the wanting perfection is that you actually become critical. One of the things I learned many years ago was perfection was in the imperfection. Like there is no such thing as perfect. Everything is right. It just doesn't stay. It's like whatever the journey is that you're on is what creates the perfection. Because you learn, you grow, you find different elements of yourself. But all I'm seeing here for you is judgment. Am I lazy? I'm a workaholic. Well, you can make the decision. You're old enough to make a decision. Do you want to do this? Like, it's like me. Okay, I'm going to work this much time, and then I'm going to go play, or I'm going to do whatever I'm doing. I make those decisions for me. It doesn't mean I'm lazy, or it doesn't mean I'm a workaholic. It's all figured out. I had to organize my life. Sounds to me like you're being too judgmental on yourself, too critical. Whose voice are you listening to? Who was the critical person in your childhood growing up? Because you've got that voice. Pull it out. You know, like pull a weed out of the garden, pull the voice out. You don't need to listen to that voice. You need to listen to your own voice, your own heart of what you want to do, what you want to create, and just go easy on yourself. Let the critic, let the judgment, let all those things go away, because all it's doing is binding you up, not allowing you to flow. Okay. Is that all we got here today? I think so. Got a couple of new people's names there. But anyway, did I miss anybody? No, I don't think so. It's kind of interesting day for me here too. So it's getting cold here. I want some warm. My feet were freezing most of the day. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for supporting the two of you that are coming that have registered already for the past life regression. We will go ahead with it. If it's just the two of you, I'm fine with that. And you'll hear from me within the next 2 days. So I hope you come. Also, anybody else that you know that might like to, remember we did one a wee while ago, and everyone seemed to enjoy it. So everyone is always different because we move into the different elements of who we are. Let's see, what else do I want to say? Thank you. Just thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love, actually, that comes through. And I'm working to learn a little bit more about editing and stuff like that. But yeah, quite interesting. Oh, Math 07. You read me perfectly. Thank you so much. Well, that's my job. That's what I do. That's what I do. It's like I take a look at these things and then gives me the answers. That's part of what I do anyway. I want to say thank you. We'll send love and blessings to Kayla. And tomorrow I will be sending love and blessings to Karen B. So just know you're on him. Both of you will be in my hands, so to speak. In the meantime, go have a great day. Enjoy, relax, and give thanks for one thing that you're happy about with your life or that you enjoy that brings pleasure. Because sometimes we forget in the grind of life to really realize what's pleasurable. So blessings to all of you. Night now. Bye.